Okay, I'm back for the next installment of this video. Do not forget to clean the glass, because once you put the canvas on the back of your window, you're out of luck for cleaning the glass. I almost forgot. Almost, but not quite. Because once the way I'm going to do it here, it's pretty much permanent. It can be removed because I have it set for that if it ever does need to be removed, but not without a lot of work. So I had to clean the glass. It was a lot of work. It's very old. There's a lot of grease, oils, dirt, grime, smog, everything. This particular window came from Sacramento Valley in California. So though it's a big city, I mean it's not like Los Angeles, but it still has a decent amount of smog, and the smog gets picked up in the atmosphere when it rains. We have hard water spots. It's very common to see cars with black streaks running down the car doors. We have just really hard water. In my house, I have two water softeners, because my city is actually known for having really hard water. So this did come from the general area. So I first used warm water and soap on paper towels, cleaned it up. There was all kinds of dirt and grime that came off of it because these were stored outside. And after that, I then used just clear water and dry paper towels to get all that off, and I just couldn't cut the film. I couldn't cut the streaks, so I switched to popular brand glass cleaner. Wouldn't cut it. Got all that haze off, all that film, all of the chemicals, got that, removed that, switched to another brand of window wipes that promised no streaking. They did okay, but again, they couldn't cut the film. They couldn't cut this haze. It was just a lot of elbow grease. Now, had I had a drill attachment where like a small buffing pad that I could drill it, I'm sure I probably could have buffed through all the haze. I don't want to try that. I could go out and run to the auto parts store and get a buffing kit attachment for the drill bit for like headlights and windshields, and they do work really good. But I didn't want to spend the money for it. This glass is too fragile to take a chance on having the right equipment and accidentally applying too much pressure and causing the glass to explode. So I finally switched to vinegar, straight vinegar on paper towels, and that cut a lot more. And I dried it with I tried different cotton towels. That didn't really work. I ended up using this tack cloth. This is a Wood Craftsman tack cloth. I wish I could tell you what the material is. I'm sure it's just cotton, and I could be very wrong at that. Anyway, it's a little bit softer. So I use this to begin to work the dissipating, what's the word? It's the end of the day. This has been very long. You've only been watching this for a little bit. I cleaned this window for 1 solid hour, front and back and forth, flipping it over, trying to get it perfect. And I used distilled white vinegar. Find it at your local grocery store. But there was still 1 hour of elbow grease. And remember, I couldn't put any pressure on it, so I had to be very careful in applying pressure, and so it required a lot more work. really worn out. I just took a break, had some dinner. I'm tired. I'm ready to be done. But we're very close. Anyway, I just wanted to say that's how you're going to have to clean old windows. First, use warm soap and water. Skip all the other glass cleaners. Go straight to vinegar. This vinegar didn't smell really too bad. It was okay. I didn't really need ventilation. It was really mild. And just really work until it's absolutely clean. And then sometimes you got to get with the light behind you. Preferably get a dark material under the glass, and it will really help build. See, it's just like when you wash your car windows and it leaves streaks, but you don't know it until you drive it at night and you can see the streaks from the overhead street lamps. If you do use a common household glass cleaner, and a lot of people say, well, these never work, and there's one way. And after you use them and you think it's all clean, go back with a wet paper towel and water, and you have to then wipe out the film, and it will work. All those glass cleaners, the popular ones, they do work, but they require more effort than we want to put into it. But they do work. Just you got to cut the film after you get it on. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to stop this for a minute because we are now ready to put the canvas onto the back side of the picture frame, of the window frame that's going to be the picture frame. And we're gonna get this done yet. We're gonna get it done yet. Okay, I'm back with a quick outro on the vinegar. Yeah, use vinegar, but you know what? I still notice streaks. There's still a haze, and it was really frustrating because this is, I want this to be museum quality. It's the way I want all of my art. My art is for sale. Even the stuff that I do for myself, it's still top-notch quality. Hey, I'm good enough, you're good enough, so when you do your art, do it right. And it'll be much more appreciated. And you will appreciate it more because you put more work into it, and really you can take a lot of pride in it. So I found these wipes I was telling you about. I'll drop a link down in the video description area with what I used. I'm not endorsing them. I don't work for them, but I'm going to put this as what I use, and I found it to work very well for me. So that's the outro, and now let's get on to getting the canvas onto the picture frame itself. Okay. At some point, after cleaning the glass, especially because it's vintage, you're going to have to just accept it's the years of wear. You cannot, I will not say you cannot. Perhaps you can, and if you find a way to get it 100% perfectly clean, like good as day one, please let me know. But at one point you're going to just have to tell people this is the vintage look. I got all the streaks off as much as I could. Okay. Matter of fact, there are no streaks, but there are some haze and stuff, but minimal, very minimal. Next point is make sure your canvas is clean, and always make sure your hands are clean when working with artwork at any stage. So clean the canvas before you, because once this goes on, it's on. So you can use a dust brush just to get off any extra dust. If you need to, make sure it's clean, pretty much just knocking dust off. Alternatively, you can use blow some air, and if you don't have an air compressor at your computer parts store, you can get a can, an aerosol can of air. So that will also work. Anyway, you want to make sure that's clean, and then also blow off the back side and the face of the window as well. Once this is on, this is on.